I am Edip Yuksel. Today I will tell you a few stories. I'm not a good storyteller, but what I'm telling you is very interesting. Um, First, I want to mention a book which I read a few years ago. The name of the book is Black Swan by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Very interesting book in that he's a mathematician. He asserts that many events, most important events in our lives, personal lives, or in history, in global level, happens without expectation. It happens as a surprise, like suddenly war starts or a big plague, or we meet someone just by accident, we end up marrying with that person, having children. What he says, after the event happens, we rationalize it, we connect the dots, we think, well, it was expected, but in fact we were at dark, we didn't really know for sure that it would happen. Sometimes we don't have even a clue that such an event would happen in the future. Therefore, life is full of certain random events. Today I decided to make my own random event. Instead of talking about politics and religion, philosophy, religious, those serious issues, today I want to share with you a few personal experiences. First, I want to say something about the shirt on. It is not a shirt, it's sweater on me. Okay, this is beautiful, as you see. This was done by my sister, older sister, while I was in Turkish prison between 1980 and 1984. That time this was her gift, and I love it very much. Though I am in desert in Tucson, I really don't need it most of the time. But today was a little bit cold. I said, well, it is a good time to show off my sister's work. I love it. These are the best colors. Well, this is backward. My hand is going to the other side. Okay, this is the rainbow colors. And as you know, also I have my books are published by Rainbow. Now, the story is about hitchhiking stories. When I was in law school in 1995, I will start from that. Okay, we were in old house. I opened the fridge and I see in the door compartment bottles of wine and other alcoholic beverages. And we don't drink. Me and my wife, we are absolutely alcohol free. We call it teetotaler. And also I have no really much tolerance for alcohol being my presence in my home, because I know that the harm it causes for individual and society, it is very underreported, unfortunately, because of the mass addiction in alcohol. The damage is tremendous in terms of brain damage, in terms of personal relationship, economical bankruptcies, and accidents, work accidents or traffic accidents is immense. Knowing that, I just yelled at my wife. I said, where did these come from? I'm going to throw them to the garbage. She yelled back. She says, please keep it. It is my cousin's. And somehow they were there the night before while I was working or at school, and they had a party, and these were the leftover. Well, I told her I don't want it in the fridge, and she knows my sensitivity on this issue, and she respects it. And she said she will take it the following day to her cousin. Okay, that's fine. The following day I wake up and I find out that my car is not working. Perhaps the lights were on, and I needed to take my wife's car. And I enter her car and start the ignition. I start always saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of God, gracious, compassionate, merciful God. And while saying that, I noticed these bottles parading uh, on my right side, passenger side, on the floor in a bag. I felt bad. I felt a kind of contradiction between what I am saying in the name of God and here as these are evil. I ask forgiveness from God. I say, you know, these are not mine. I don't want to be going driving a car together with alcoholic beverages in my car. Anyway, I went to University of Arizona downtown. That time I still was connected with Masjid Tucson. I think it was my last year there. We separated ways when I found out a gang, a cult in that group started idolizing Rashad Khalifa, my former friend and mentor, and it became an issue among us. Anyway, that time still I was going there, and I was parking the car there, the parking lot we could use. It was just a few minutes away from my faculty from law school. While entering the parking lot, I see a lady waving her hand for hitchhiking and to get a ride. After the parking, I came back and I have second thought. I said, well, I have few extra minutes before class starts. Let me offer her a ride. I said, if you are nearby here, within few miles, I can give you a ride. Oh, she says, just few blocks down there. Okay. This was Euclid and 6th Avenue, just on the corner of the Euclid and 6th Avenue. And while she was walking with me towards the car, which was under the wall, the masjid wall reads, happiness is submission to God, or later devotion to God. Happiness is devotion to God, submission to God. And I was feeling again bad. Here it is under the mosque, under the masjid's wall, and God's name is written there. I am parking this car with alcoholic beverages in it. I had that kind of feelings, negative feelings about the issue. While walking to the car, I noticed that she stinks. She was perfectly drunk. By the way, I don't know even where to look. I need to look maybe a few inches up over the thing, which is a little bit confusing. I want to see myself while talking. My eyes always seems closed. Therefore, I don't know. I'm not using our camcorder for this. Seems kind of too much hassle. I'm using my computers. Well, I had given her promise. She's drunk, but I have to keep my promise even to a drunk person. I usually is a bad word. Almost always it is a bad word. Always want to follow the Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative, which says a rule is moral rule if you can universalize it. If everyone can do it, it becomes useful, and you will not be derogating from any of these rules. Means you will not choose and pick the times that you follow the rule. Means the principle will be above you, not under you. You will become the judge and make basically exceptions for your own selfish benefits. I love that rule, though sometimes I know certain circumstances may force you to derogate from that rule for better benefit when there is a collusion, when a kind of dilemma, both of them are ethical, moral duties. That time sometimes you have to choose one over the another. Well, I get my promise, and she entered the car. I am on the street. While going, here it is, I see this woman drunk, young woman. I wanted to give her a few advice. I asked her, why you are in this young age? You are messing up your body, your brain, and you are drinking. Well, she just with her hand pointed to the alcoholic beverages over there. I have to look at my picture here, unfortunately. Well, I felt very embarrassed, even against this drunk woman. And I felt kind of I need to defend myself as if she's a prosecutor. I said, these are my wife's cousins' drink. It's not mine. I don't drink. We came by her apartment complex and I stopped by the street. She got out, but the moment she got out, she grabbed the bag and she ran away to the other side of the street. And I see her holding the bag, walking towards the apartment with the um, with these alcoholic beverages in the bag. For a moment, I just in my mind, my wife came in front of my eyes. I have to tell her the truth, the report, and well, she might ask what happened to those bottles. Well, I have to tell her the story. I cannot lie, and I don't. And therefore, I may fall into trouble, unnecessary trouble. I jumped out from the car. I ran after her, and then I grabbed one end of this bag and start pulling. I say, "Give me! These are not mine. These are my wife's cousins and stuff." She says, "Please let me have it. I have friends over there in the apartment. We'll have fun. We'll have party." And then for a moment, I picture myself like from Bert's perspective. And what are you doing, Edip? Weren't you the one you are fighting now in the middle of the street with a drunk woman over a few bottles of alcoholic beverages? What did you do? Weren't you regretful and praying to God for forgiveness because you had these alcoholic beverages in your car? It is God sent you a woman, a hitchhiker, and happens to be drunk and also thief. God, by this way, got rid of these alcoholic beverages from car. You should be thankful. In that moment, I let her take it. I said, "Go ahead it." I have nothing to do with this. And thank God, nothing happened afterwards. My wife empathized with my story. And that was one of the hitchhiking moments I don't forget. Very interesting. Few months later, another time, on this time late night, I am going home from university. Perhaps I was in library doing some work, and the streets in Tucson is usually darker than most places, cities. One of the reasons they want to keep the sky clear, less light pollution because of the observatories, because of the astronomy here in Tucson. Therefore, I saw on the dark silhouette while going on Speedway. The name is Speedway, don't be deceived, it is really slow. The speed limit is only 35 miles per hour, while in other places it's about 45 miles. And I was going and I see someone asking for a hitchhike. I didn't know who is this person, just a dark silhouette. I stopped and that person came to the car and found out she's a woman. She entered the car, start talking something while I'm driving. I say I was going certain direction. I didn't ask her yet because I thought that 1 or 2 miles I could go before asking her her address, or she would stop me and tell me. And she started talking. I had no idea what she's talking about. Then dawned on me, I just realized that she is a prostitute. Uh-oh. And then she started, I told her, I said, I am a married, happily married person, and I don't do this kind of things. And then she started complaining and accusing me of taking her business, depriving her from her business. And I felt guilty now. I'm giving her a ride. Now I am in a guilty position. I said, well, let me take you back. Give up, she said, and drop me at my home. Anyway, I dropped her at her home. This is the second. The first one was drunk. The second one was the prostitute. A third one was when I was going. These are happening pretty kind of all of them perhaps in 1 year. I was taking I-10 from home to a hotel nearby airport. There was a conference. It was a very hot summer day, afternoon, perhaps about 110 degrees Fahrenheit, between 100 and 110. While entering the highway, on the side I see someone with one or two bags waving hands. And after passing her, I was accelerating. Well, my conscience told me to stop. This is a very hot time. He could dehydrate and get into trouble. And he ran and came with these two bags, sweating and very hot. Entered the car and I start going down south. Then I asked him, I'm curious, a very curious person. I said, where are you coming from? He says, well, I went to Las Vegas. I had about $1,000. I lost all my money. He doesn't have even money for the bus. Okay, now he's a gambler. He lost. And he wanted to go to El Paso. That time I had no idea where is El Paso. I was living in Tucson for 5-6 years. I said, okay, let me take you to El Paso. And then later, I a little bit queried, where is it? Should I turn right or left, get out? I don't want to go far away from the airport. Well, he says, in Texas. Oh my gosh, El Paso is about 500 miles away. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot take you to El Paso. I have family here, I have work here. It will be 1 or 2 days for me. I had to drop him. And this was a gambler, the third episode. And then the fourth one, I was in perhaps last year of my law school. I was doing an internship at Pima County Jail as a pretrial services. I would interview the the suspects, the one they were arrested by police. They would come there. I would check their background and also interview them, a brief interview about 20-30 minutes, and find out about their whether they are violent or not, whether they have community connection, whether there is flight risk, and then I would recommend the judge accordingly. After one of these internship work there, I was out in the park, going towards the parking lot, towards my car, and then I see a woman and a child waiting on the side, close to my car, and I just wonder, I want to help. And I said, where do you want to go? Nearby? Well, I found out that it is not very off my way, therefore I said, okay, come with me, I will give you a ride. Well, they entered the car. I found out they became 3 people. A huge guy. They were all black. A huge guy joined them. He was not in the picture when I offered her. Perhaps I wouldn't offer when I had, if I had seen that guy. And well, it was fait accompli. I was giving them ride, and this guy who is in the back, like a football player, giving me instruction in such a authoritative way, and like a Turkish general giving instruction to his petty messenger, and telling me to get there with a very kind of harsh tone. Well, I followed, but he wanted to stop by somewhere to at his friend's apartment complex to get something from his friend. At that time, a little bit I worried. I said, okay, but I cannot also reject it. I am kind of like man. You cannot afraid of such a person. I stopped with the woman and the child in the car, and this guy left the car. Went towards the apartment. I said, wow, this is the fourth incident. First was a drunk, then a prostitute, then a gambler. What if he's picking up a gun from that apartment and he will either rob me or kill me? Very silly, but these ideas was in my mind. Obviously, I am not dead. He came and then I dropped him. Nothing happened, thank God. That was a kind of suspicion on my side. Another, the last episode I would like to share with you. We go to San Diego frequently, every about 2-3 months as a family. We have a lot of family members there. From Tucson to San Diego, it takes about 7 hours. We have great time as family. We play all kind of musics, Jewish musics. We have the best classic musics and Turkish, Arabic, Kurdish, Persian. These are 5 languages we play, and also we play puzzles. I have a bunch of questions we ask each other. We have great family times during these trips. One of the best times we have as a family. We are all stuck in a car, and I drive, my wife drives, and later my children grow now. All of us can drive. Therefore, no problem. We don't we may not even stop. And I'm going after Casa Grande, passing, this is I-8, Highway 8, directly going to San Diego. No houses, farms. I think I passed about half an hour or an hour in Casa Grande, on way to Yuma. And here is, I see a guy is walking alone in the middle of nowhere. And I felt bad, and this guy could be in trouble. No one perhaps give ride. People are scared of giving rides, unfortunately, because they watch one silly movie or stupid movie, or maybe real life movie, and a hitchhiker kills the one person who gives ride, and then everyone is scared. Now I may have chance 1 out of 1,000,000. They do not even take that much risk, and I have really problem with that. We take greater risks by just entering the traffic. We need to be human. We need to be caring about each other. We need to take some risk even to take care about each other. Therefore, I wanted to slow down and stop. Well, my wife is just almost opposite of me. She's very kind of conservative, status quo, risk, avoiding risks. I'm just risk taker. If there is trouble, I'm in the middle of there, trying to kind of stop the trouble. Well, she, from the back of the car, she was just sitting behind me. She grabbed my head and hair. She starts shaking it, pulling back forward. Are you crazy? You will have us killed. I almost lost the control of the car. Who is crazy? I want to help a poor guy. And she, perhaps her mind goes to one of the movies she had watched last year. And then she is in panic mode, pulling my hair and head. My head is touching the back. Still, we remember this event. My kids imitate her and say, "Are you crazy?" Anyway, this is the episode, and I hope you enjoyed. I'm not a good storyteller, but I found very interesting these experiences. Thank you.